What's going on, everybody? My name is Dan from Dan Moda Music, and today we're going to be working with bar chords, specifically two, which is going to be this F bar chord and like an A-shaped bar chord that are movable for both. Now, a lot of people struggle, especially with this in the lower range area. So in order to sum that up, I hope you already know how to play a bar chord. If not, let me know. We'll make a video about that to help you get better. But today we're going to keep it nice and simple and just give you a technique to help you get better in this lower register. So for this, we're going to be starting on fret 7, and we're going to start with that E-shaped bar chord or you could say F bar over here. But realize it's an E shape because it comes from the E major chord. A lot of people play their E major chord like this. What we got to do is we're going to play this E major chord with the back 3 fingers. And once again, I hope you know how to do this. If not, let me know. I'll make a video. So we're using these back 3 fingers, and we're going to move these back 3 fingers up to fret 8 and 9, and our first finger is going to be on 7. So 7, and then add your bar chord right here. Now, the idea, guys, with this shape is a lot of people have trouble with the thumb. So when we play, we tend to put our thumb, we put our thumb like this, and we play the chord like this. What we want to do is let your hand relax into more of a relaxed position like this. Notice where your thumb sits. It sits usually in front of that first finger, and that's how we're going to attack this chord. When I play, if my first finger is going to be on fret 7, my thumb, you can kind of already see it. It's going to be on 6 or maybe between 6 and 7. It's not going to be too high or too low. It's going to be probably right in the middle most of the time. Especially for this part of the fretboard, guys, it's very comfortable to play on, and that's why we're starting here. So, first finger is technically only playing 6, 2, and 1 on the strings, but I want you to go in and just hold them all down, kind of like that. Now what I'm doing here is I'm not playing it flat with the whole chord. I'm playing more, let me show you, I'm playing more with the bone area on this side over here instead of the middle. You can see how I don't have anything there, and that's because on the left side where I'm pressing on where my left shoulder would be, I'm using the bone on the left side, and I'm playing as close as I can to that fret wire. Now I'm not touching it. It looks like I'm touching it, right on it, but I'm really right next to it. And the reason for that is because that is the sweet spot usually on most guitars because of the way the guitar is set up. We'll worry about that in another video though. So now when I play here, I'm going to just get my thumb right and get my first finger right and just play all the notes. And I'm not going to push too hard. I'm only going to push hard enough to get the sound I'm looking for, and that's it right there. Now in reality, guys, once again, I'm only playing 6, 2, and 1 strings, but for this exercise it helps to hold them all down just in a general overview, just so you can get the idea of what's going on. Now we're going to add the other 3 fingers to that chord that you know for the bar shape. Now when you play, you're going to be pressing with the thumb forward, and you're going to be pressing backward with the fingers inward like this. But they go together, so it's kind of like this movement. Okay, now another thing is you can pull back a little bit with your elbow and your shoulder area to get this chord in. And then you should get something like that. If not, you could single pluck it, let it go, work on your technique on it. And remember, guys, you're only pressing hard enough to get the sound you want. You don't need to press anything more than that because then you're just wasting energy. So now once you get the idea of this, you want to start to disperse more energy towards that 6 string, 2, and 1. And the way to do it, guys, is it just takes practice. You don't want to overthink this or like, how do I know? It's kind of hard, but you just kind of want it where you're cupping that bottom half right here where the fat part of that finger is, 2 and 1, and then press on 6. The other ones, since they're in front, it doesn't matter. Even if you're pressing harder over here, these will get the sound of the note. And of course, guys, make sure you're pressing on the tips of those fingers. Let me give you a nice shot of that. So there we go. Tips and then flat. So now here's the fun part. I call it bar chord yoga, I guess. The best name I got for it, because what we're doing is kind of like in yoga. When you start yoga, you're kind of, all your muscles are tight and you really can't stretch, but the more you do it, the more you become flexible. The same thing happens to here. So when I'm playing on 9 and fret 7 and 9 and 8 over here with this bar chord, I keep forgetting to raise my volume today. What's going to happen now is I'm going to move everything to 6. then to 5, then to 4. Now this is where it starts to get a little troublesome for some people. Fret 3. Let's say if you only could get to fret 3 and no more, well then you're done. You max out on fret 3. Cool. You found where you are. Now what you want to do is you'll work it again. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And you may be stuck there for a week, maybe 2, but the idea is you're learning how to expand towards that fret 1 and 2 area. So after a while, you'll realize, hey, you know what? This feels nice and easy now. Well, then now you're going to go from 7 to 2. And once usually when you get there, and you can always do this a little slower. When you get to 2, usually most people can get to 1. But notice what didn't change. My thumb placement. My thumb is now kind of more towards the nut. I'm not pressing too hard. I'm keeping everything the way I had explained it already from before. Now I'm also pulling back a little bit with my thumb and my shoulder. But you'll do that, and it may take you a while to get comfortable with just getting the fret 1 and getting to being able to expand and play it. That's okay, guys. We're not all professionals right away. I remember I hated learning this F bar chord because it is a pain in the ass. So it is what it is. Take time, work on it. You'll be working towards expanding lower, and take it like this. Here's a good pace for you so you can hear all your notes. And then that last one, I might even pluck them all, one by one. I think maybe you can hear my dogs barking. I think somebody's at the door. It might be the mailman or something. Let's go ahead and cut this part out for a second. Okay, guys, so that is going to be with that E shape. Sorry about the dogs, but that's the E shape. Now it's the same idea with the A shape. So with this A shape bar chord, well, it comes from the A open position. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using the back 3 fingers usually, or you're going to be using it as one finger like this. So it's the same idea. We're going to start this on frets 7 and 9 over here. And we're going to take this first shape. We're using all 3 fingers on this one. This is probably not very practical for most people, but if it is for you, cool. You're going to just run it through all the way down. Now, for most people, it's not, and it also depends on the song, because with the song, well, you may not be able to play this into the next section. So a lot of people play the bar chord like this, and if you need me to, I'll make another video explaining more about this shape. But it's, once again, it's just this shape. We're going to start down fret 7 with the first finger. Same idea. Look at my thumb. It's in front. I have it more towards 1 fret up, and or 1 fret below, I mean, and then I have my flat fingers going like this. Now the trick with this one though is it's the ring finger is the back part where you're going more flat. So I'm playing this one more dead center, right down the middle, instead of curling it to the left or right, just because it feels more comfortable in this position, and I usually won't have more notes that I'm adding over here. With this first finger, when you're playing the E shape, you usually have more notes you're adding, and it benefits you more to go ahead and roll over to the side. For this shape, playing on the pads mostly in the middle, it's fine. So same idea. We're going to take this chord. We're going to work it low, 1 fret by 1 fret. And then usually when we get to the open position for this one, most people go back and go to the 3 finger shape. Now, no real trick to that one, except same thing, practice it and get comfortable with the idea of how that works and how you're pressing the fingers down, and don't over press or use too much energy on it that you don't need to if you don't have to, guys. And I believe that's it for both of them. Alright guys, that is it for this guitar lesson video. If you need more help with the guitar lessons as far as scales, theory, composition, anything like that, or piano related, I'll leave that in the description where you can get a hold of me. Thank you for watching this guitar lesson video, and I'll see you on the next one.